Welcome to section 11.13, part 3. This is the 117th session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this closing part, we turn from building wireless networks to the attacks that target them. In this session, we'll walk the wireless attacker's toolkit. We'll answer several questions. How does an attacker find your networks? What is a rogue access point? And how is an evil twin sneakier? How do management frames get weaponized? And what do jamming, weak randomness, and replayed traffic have in common? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because even a well-built wireless network stays a target. Picture a co-working space full of freelancers who trust whatever network their laptops remember. An attacker in the corner can quietly impersonate a familiar network and harvest sessions all afternoon. When you know how each of these attacks works, you can spot the warning signs, coach your users, and place the right detection so the corner attacker never gets that afternoon. How does an attacker find your networks in the first place? By scanning for them. War driving is the practice of roaming an area with a detection tool, hunting for wireless signals the attacker has no right to use. The tool might be a phone, a laptop with a wireless card, or even a drone flying overhead. Any active network that is not sealed inside a shielded enclosure gives itself away, because the base station is always radiating. A scanner reveals the network name, its channel and frequency, and what encryption, if any, is in use. Think of a burglar strolling a neighborhood, quietly noting which houses have alarms and which leave the windows open. What is a rogue access point? An unauthorized access point riding on your network. It might be planted by an employee chasing convenience, slipped in by an intruder who got inside, or run by an attacker from outside. However it arrives, it usually skips proper security, punching an unregulated hole into your otherwise guarded network. One variant clones a legitimate network name and hardware address at higher power to lure your existing clients away from the real access point. Another simply advertises an inviting name to attract fresh visitors. Your defense is to run wireless intrusion detection and hunt these down, often triangulating the source with a scanner and a directional antenna. Picture a fake toll booth set up on a road to collect from unwitting drivers. How is an evil twin sneakier than an ordinary rogue? Because it lets the victim's own device pick the trap. Every time your device joins a network, it remembers that profile and later broadcasts requests to reconnect, naming the networks it trusts. An evil twin listens for those requests, then instantly impersonates whichever network your device is calling for, offering a plaintext connection. Your device accepts because the client trusts the base station to set the terms of security. Once connected, the attacker sits in the middle, poised to hijack sessions and steal credentials. Your defenses are to watch which network you actually join, prune old saved profiles, and lean on a VPN whenever you go wireless. Think of an imposter who answers to whatever name you call out, then walks you the wrong way. How do management frames get turned into weapons? By abusing the messages that manage connections. A disassociation frame normally tells a client to drop one access point as it moves to another in the same coverage area. Sent maliciously, it simply knocks a client off the network. A related deauthentication frame does much the same, forcing an immediate disconnect. Attackers spoof these to expose a hidden network name, to deny service by repeatedly kicking a client off, to hijack a session while the real client is locked out, or to shove a client toward a fake access point. Your best defenses are the newest protected access and a wireless intrusion detection system watching for the abuse. Picture someone yanking your phone call dead the instant it connects, over and over. What is jamming, and how do you respond? It is deliberate radio noise meant to drown out communication. By flooding the airwaves and wrecking the ratio of signal to noise, jamming interferes with or fully blocks a network. Your first moves are practical. Reposition devices, check whether something is simply sharing your frequency or channel, and change the channel on gear you control. If it is a genuine attack, try to triangulate the source. And if it originates outside your walls, bring in law enforcement. Think of someone blasting an air horn in a quiet meeting so no one can be heard. Why is a weak random number a security hole? Because cryptography leans on unpredictability. Modern encryption mixes in a random value to keep patterns from repeating and to resist prediction. That value becomes a weakness when it is too short, reused, sent in the clear, or chosen poorly. Attackers who collect enough predictable values can chip away at the encryption, which is exactly how the earliest wireless encryption was broken, the lesson generalizes. When randomness is thin, the math protecting your data gets thin with it. Picture a combination lock that only ever spins through a handful of numbers, so a patient thief eventually walks right through. What makes a replay attack effective? It reuses captured traffic to fool a system. The attacker records legitimate communication, often an authentication exchange, then retransmits it later to open a session as if they were the real party, all without ever learning the actual credentials. In the wireless world, this can spoof new connection requests or simply flood a base station with repeated requests to starve it of service. Your defenses build in time and freshness. Keep firmware current, run intrusion detection, and use one-time mechanisms, timestamps with expirations, challenge and response exchanges, and sequence session identifiers. Think of a door that accepts a recorded password today, so anyone who taped it yesterday strolls in. So let's bring it together. Attackers first map your networks by scanning and war driving, then set traps with rogue access points and stealthier evil twins that your own devices choose. Management frames get weaponized for denial of service, hijacking, and misdirection. Jamming drowns your signal, weak randomness cracks your crypto, and replayed traffic slips past authentication. The through line is that visibility and freshness are your friends. Run wireless intrusion detection, prune trust, demand strong encryption, and build time into your authentication. That closes out the wireless story. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.